Hi, I'm John Hageman. Welcome to KNN. Today I'm here with Bob Knakal, and today we're going to talk about the housing market in New York City. Bob, you wrote an article recently that we got a lot of good feedback on, talking about the housing market in New York, things that we think could be done to, policy changes that could be made. Why don't you share a little bit about what you wrote and what your thoughts are about that?
Yeah, and Hags, we actually talked about some of these things in an episode about a month ago, but I wanted to expand on it because the feedback we've gotten has been very robust from our clients and from some politicians who have called and spoken to about this. I think that one of the issues is that affordable housing in New York is a must. We need affordable housing at all levels of the economic spectrum. We need more supply. And, if you look no further than the pandemic, when we had vacancy rates that were 30 or 40%, rents dropped by 30 or 40%. We need more supply. That's the fix. The fix for the market is not confiscating private property and trying to control how much somebody can charge for rent. The fix really is in creating more supply, which has tangential benefits that are great for the city, more tax revenue, more jobs. There's no downside to any of this. And the 5 simple fixes to make this happen. Number one, you have to bring back the 421A/Affordable New York tax abatement program. It's needed in a very, very big way. Without it, sites are essentially frozen in the outer boroughs. Any site that has a highest and best use as rental housing, we're telling sellers just not to sell them today. There's no value, the economics don't work. To the extent that there are sites appropriate for residential rental construction in Manhattan, it's the same thing. Those sites are not worth putting on the market today. The pricing just is not going to justify selling. Mm-hmm. So we have a giant air bubble that's been created. Second factor is a tangential factor to that, which is the fact that there is an outside date of June of 2026 where projects have to be completed, get your TCO in order to qualify for the tax abatement. So there have been a number of sites, particularly in outer boroughs, large sites, that have vested for the Affordable New York program, but there's no way to get that TCO by June of 26. So extending that deadline by 2, 3, 4 years will bring thousands of units to the marketplace. So those are 2 very easy fixes to get more supply coming online, and particularly the second one will get that supply coming online in the short term because those sites are already teed up and ready to go.
So those are the first 2, Bob. What's number 3?
Number 3 would be to bring back the original nature of the individual apartment improvement bonus and the major capital improvement bonus. Both of those programs were marginalized in the rent law changes in June of 2019. They have basically frozen tens of thousands of units off the market. And to the extent that those were brought back, again, you'd have some estimates are as high as 70 or 80,000 units that have been nailed shut because it doesn't make economic sense for an owner to renovate the unit and bring it back to the market. So you'd immediately bring tens of thousands of units back to the market, creating jobs, increasing taxes. Again, no downside to doing that when that should be an easy fix.
So those are the first 3. What's number 4?
Another one would be to lift the 12 FAR cap on residential density. There are areas around major transportation hubs that could use a residential density higher than 12 as an offset to that. We could see densities reduced far away from transportation. I think that makes a lot of sense for the city. But lifting that 12 FAR cap would have a stimulative impact on value of property around mass transit. When you have something that changes the density of a property, it generally increases the value. When the values increase, people are more likely to sell. People are more likely to sell, a new building is going to get built, again, all the benefits that go along with that new construction. And again, that should be a relatively easy fix for our politicians.
Last but not least, number 5.
Last but not least, number 5 is to incentivize in a very tangible way the conversion of older obsolete office buildings into residential. If we look at the downtown market post 9/11, the city implemented a 421G tax abatement program. We had about 1,800 units downtown prior to 9/11. We now have close to 30,000 units downtown, all stimulated by this tax abatement program. Implement a 421G citywide to incentivize the conversion of mostly vacant office buildings into affordable housing. It would be great for the affordable housing market. It would be great for the office market. Again, no downside, but making things easier for the private sector to maneuver would be great. All 5 of these things would add all of those benefits. I hate to keep harping on it, but what should politicians be focused on? Increasing taxes, real estate taxes, by making buildings more valuable, not just by increasing taxes for the sake of increasing taxes, but getting more tax revenue, incentivizing construction, creating jobs. These are all things that would be great. And when we get that new supply of housing, it's going to stop this upward pressure that we've seen on rents. And that's something that's in the city's best interest. So let's hope you politicians, get on the ball, and let's get some of these things going. The private sector will do anything you want it to do if you give the right incentives, and I think we can get that added supply of housing units very easily through implementing some of these things.